So I hope you guys are doing well. Something bad has happened today. Bw'obadde tunategeera kikigenda maaso kampa omukisa abategedde ekibi ekiguddeyo mu ggwanga ate bakugamba, and it's here Wakiso aba Kampala. I think it's even Kampala. Ani atanategeera kibi kituguddeko olwaleero. The rain seemed like it's not really going to affect us in any way. The rain did not seem like it was really a lot. Let me put it in automatic. Gives us the cold. You know how our Samsung acts, and then afterward it will reduce. Yeah. So guys, something bad has happened today, and my guy, I imported microphones. I bought them from eBay. These seem to be of better quality than the ones that are sold locally. So I'm going to try them one of these days, probably in tomorrow's broadcast. They are both for iPhone and Android. Yeah, and this is the microphone, and this is the charger. So I'm going to try them tomorrow's broadcast. I thought I would have tried them today, but yeah. So I'm going to try them tomorrow's broadcast. I hope you guys are doing well today. And if you are alive, thank God that you are alive. Apparently a number of people, not even a small number, have died today in what you would call a landslide. But it's a pit slide. It's the mound of rubbish in Kitezi slid and engulfed homes, businesses and buildings. Yeah? So it's not good what has happened. If you have a relative that lives around Kitezi, give them a call. So that is what has happened. The fact that you're on the live broadcast means that you're fine. Yeah, I try to give myself peace. I read an article. That said that you need to take care of yourself, because the people that you're hustling for would survive whether you're there or not. And apparently it's very true. Come and get this our road here. It's like we are off-roading. You know how you see in the movies, and the guy is off-grid. See that beautiful road? Yeah, that's one of the roads I take when I'm going to my home. It's not very smooth, which is why I'm going very slow. And sometimes it's much more comfortable to just go fast. And of course, but I hope you guys are doing today. And today's broadcast is somewhat delicate. Yeah, today's broadcast is somehow delicate. It's the broadcast where I tell you why I think that a car can or is more valuable than land. Yeah, that's today's broadcast. And you know, I was sitting there on Thursday and I thought, what? I think actually for some people it might be a better idea for you guys to buy land and not to buy a car and not land. You get? For some people it's just a very good idea. Until you have 20 million shillings, you can buy a piece of land. You can buy a piece of land, or you can buy a car. And for some of you guys, I would definitely advise you to buy a car. Let me just share a brief. Now, when Tukamu Junction, so that I act like FBI. So let me just give you a brief example that I had from someone that actually had a chance to buy land, and they turned around and went ahead and bought a car. Now this is a story of someone that I don't know personally, but the person I know knows them. And this story was shared with me. So this person went to buy a piece of land. This person had about 17 million shillings. And they wanted to buy a piece of land. Now they were taken to Busika. For the guys that know where Busika is, you know it's further than where I live. The people that live in Busika, before I bought Matunga, I was taken to Busika to see the plots of land that are that side. And then I was shown Matunga. And then the next day I told Mama, but you know what? Let's go back to Busika, because even this side seemed like it was really far. And as we were heading to Busika, we stopped around Bugema, and we said in Waratok Singe Matunga. The only advantage was that Busika, most of the plots at that time were next to the tarmac, but still it was really far. So that's how we turned around and bought land in the village, this village you see, because this is definitely a village. And majority of these plots here belong to people that are still scared to come and build and move in. So the person they went there like 2 times, 3 times before they were to pay. You know how you go to do due diligence. And this person decided that, you know what, I think land is just not for me right now. Right now, a car is more valuable to me than land. That very day, or the 3rd day of looking at the plot, that person went and bought themselves a car. Yagenda ne yegulya motoka milioni 19 ne bambanja milioni 2 yakijja mu bond. Now so many people have stories like this. It's just that they cannot share them because they fear being judged. One of Africa, land is more valuable than a car. Yeah? Kasoza wa kokolengera, before we bought the plot that we finally bought, we found a gentleman, and his plot is the first plot we were going to buy. And of course, he hiked the price when we saw that we were serious. But the gentleman abera kwaka akasozi, and the quality of life he's living right now, ngate aina eka nga 5 mu kitundu wano wetuli. The quality of life that he is living and his family is not the quality of family that I would want to live, even if I were to be referred to as a rich person who owns a lot of land. I would very much prefer to own 2 cars or 1 car and give my kids a quality life, take them to good schools, feed them good food, give them good clothes. You get, I very much give them that than have 10 acres of land. Now, like I say, this is a very delicate issue. In my experience, I'll share, I bought a car before I even ever thought of buying land. And at the time when I bought my first car, yes, I could afford land, but at that time I did not have any guidance. Like and all those things, I did not know. I could buy land and a car at that time, but I had no idea that land was even an option. I had no idea that land even had advantages of being owned by a young person like me. So yes, I took a very long time before buying land or even building a home, even when I could afford, because I did not have guidance. As a matter of fact, by the time my own family told me to buy land and build, I was already building. Actually, I had moved into my house, my very first house. So I did not really have guidance. I only got guidance from a friend of mine. Actually, yali abavubuka batukanikire motoka. But Waya is the guy that told me, Atha, onsinga senti lwaki okyapangisa. And then I was like, guy, enyumba ezimbika. And then he took me, I've shared this story 100 times, I think. And then he took me to his Mizigo, and he said, and Natalie Kokuziba on $1,300,000. And then I realized, oh, it's actually doable, you get. So anyway, why do I still think, and yes, still disclaimer, I own land, okay, I own a home, okay, so I know the advantages that come with it. I own a car. I also know the advantages that come with one having a car. So I have both of these things that I'm talking about. Okay, so I don't want you to say Atho Wubiabantu. I've shared from time and again. I've shared also the advantages that come with owning a home. Look at this box house. Enyumba ya box eyo inzo jigera ageranya kumwamba jirenge. Ate tenagwa. I think bagenda take windows as sako. Si church mulowoza. Omanyi ne church nazo zaatawuka. Anyway, so is land more valuable than a car, or is a car more valuable than land? Now, there are so many times when you talk about land versus cars, people are going to come and say, you know what, Arthur, I find that land is much more valuable than a car. And I'll tell you that I've seen someone sell their land very cheaply, cheaper than what they bought it, because land did not retain its value after all. The land simply lost the value. You get? And I've seen someone sell their car more than what they bought it, because the car apparently gained value. And I've seen people sell land exactly the amount of money they bought it after 5 years. Because in the rush to actually own land, or in the rush to buy some land to make a profit, they bought from the wrong place. You get? So now, this broadcast is for the people that are torn between land and the house and the land and the car. Like this person is asking themselves, okay, I have this amount of money, I can buy either land or a car. What is more valuable to me at this moment? Yeah, and for the people that already have cars, I don't think I need to tell you whether the car is valuable or not. If you're not using your car for anything profitable or anything valuable to you, then there is no way anyone will ever convince you that your car is valuable. For me, my car is valuable, always. Even the first car I bought to use for something that is related to business. Of course, now in the and what the talk could be baby sawe. My first car, Najiguranga Situnuri baby. I didn't even know that cars attracted chicks. You know, the time that guys told me, baby, I had already had a car for like a year, and I wasn't using the car as a means to actually get babies. You get? I bought a car for other reasons. Yeah. So, what makes a car more valuable than land? One, there is something that a car will give you that land will never give you. Even when you put a house on that land will never give you the advantage of immediate mobility and convenience. Yeah? Immediate mobility and convenience. Do you know what it means to have the ability to move and go wherever you want at the time that you want with whoever you want? Do you know that what that means? Like, I'm here right now, my grandmother calls me Nangamba Atajangu Ondabeko. I can drive straight away because I have a car. I can move straight away. Yeah? Convenience and mobility whenever, wherever. That's the one thing that land will never give you. As a matter of fact, your land can tie you to locations. Right now, I'm seeing a lot of millennials going against buying land and building houses, and they are saying they are not going to do this. Why? And they are saying for them they're not going to build houses because they don't want to tie themselves in one location. You guys, one of the members here. One of the members here. So anyway, a house will tie you down to one location, or it will make you sometimes immobile. You can get an opportunity and you start thinking, oh, enyumba yange, amakaga yange. I remember, I think I shared a story with you guys one of the members here that got a scholarship. He had just bought his car and he was saying naye kati Mr. Athampa ku magezi nakagula emmotoka yange nga njagala scholarship nga njagala ne jigana ne muga twala eri go do that scholarship ojja kufuna sente ojja kukomawo wano ng'ofunye sente nga you can buy 2 of those cars ere moroka n'agitunda n'agenda akola ebirala. I am sure he has never regretted that decision. You get, but okwata sente zino zisa mu nnyumba eyo ennyumba eyo gituusa weeri awo ng'eri standard ekule million eyo ennyumba eyo nga bwe mugiraba ng'eri standard nga si yakwetetenkanya nti katumale gazimba ng'ozimba ennyumba eyo ng'eri standard nga yabisenge nga 3 oba 4 eri million ekitono ennyo 10 nga mu 10 10 nga mu 2 okitegeera. Now there are people that have had say I can build a 3-bedroom house with 50 million. It's a Sibaman. I don't know which 3-bedroom house you're talking about. But a proper standard 3-bedroom house will probably take 110, 120 million standard. Because 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, sitting room, kitchen, yeah. A car. Kati gomano take million ezo 12 mu nyumba, and then you have to move. That will give you second thoughts. Ugambe kati oba sigenda amaka gange nyumba yange egenda kwononeka. Okitegeera. So ngate if you put like 20 million in a car, you can definitely move whenever you want. So yes, land can never give you the ability to move immediately and conveniently. Yet a car can give you, say yes, it's much more valuable than a house. Yet again, you have to think that I can actually sleep in my car. I can sleep in my car and shower at community bathrooms and take my clothes to the zengenda bugenzi wabera parking ya motoka nga sasura askari nga neka incha kumachanga. I go to the community bathroom, I shower, and then I can do that. So the car can serve both the purpose of and by the way, now we are adding a house to land. Let's talk just about land. Yeah, a car can give you income, good income. By the way, Temulabanti Uber doesn't really give money, but Uber is better than a piece of land that is just lying there, an empty piece of land. Uber is better than an empty piece of land. A special hired driver is in better position than the person that owns a land of 30 million shillings and it's empty there. With their car, they can be making money straight away. With your land, you'll be stuck with land. The people that hire land, I think they hire an acre about 120, about 200,000 a year over a season. That's very little money. It cannot sustain you and your family. Yet a car, with a car you can never go hungry, by the way. Obere Uganda, obere US, obere Canada, obere what? Once you have a car, you have an income stream that is right there. You can start making money with it. Now, people will say a car depreciates. Yes, a car depreciates and land appreciates. But guys, land only appreciates if you have money. If you already have enough money. If you don't have enough money, you are in the if two people, a person that owns a car and a person that owns land, a person that owns a car is in better position than a person that owns land, because the person that owns a car will sell their car within a week. I'm telling you, there is nothing as hard to say. Why? Because if there are people that want to buy land, there are chances they don't have the money that you want to pay you. And that affects your ability to sell your piece of land. So yes, a car depreciates in value, but it's also very liquid. It has very high liquidity. Today, if I wanted to sell my if I wanted to sell my car now, guys, if I wanted to sell my car now, I'd probably lose, let's say I lose 6 million tops. Yeah, but I get money today. Today, it's high. A car is highly liquid. Land is not. If you wanted to sell land at the same speed of like a person that is selling their car, which take that. Because there are so many people that actually want cars and can afford cars, but there are not so many people that want land and can afford land. If one can afford land, there are chances that he doesn't want to buy land. Yeah? The same thing applies with car, but when you look at the numbers of people that want to buy and can afford to buy, so yes, a car then becomes much more valuable than land. Now then, people are going to ask me, kakati atha gwe togula ttaka, nze sigula ttaka lya kajanja. Guys, nze sigula ttaka lya kajanja. Sigula ttaka lya kajanja, because I'm not in the business of buying and selling land. Just the way I've told you guys, nze, I'm not a trader of cars. No, you know what, this is also a wetland now. I don't know if it's never gazetted or but this is a complete wetland. So like people have been asking me, I'm not a trader of cars, so I'm not a trader of land, so I'm not going to buy land. When you try to enter a business where you're not, and trust me, the people that have lost money trying to buy and sell land, but they will not come out and tell you. You know how people have tried to like do fish farming and they lose money and they don't tell you? Yeah, the same thing applies with land. You know how people have tried to, that's the same thing with land. Actually keep losing money out of land. There are people, recently I encountered someone that bought, so this person was selling their piece of land in Kawanda, Chirinyabigo. So I call a broker person I know and I tell him, you know what, there's this person is selling his land in Kawanda, blah blah blah, and then the person says, Kasawa Chirinyabigo, Ngasubende. Land also has those things. Tikojabula plot yo game naguze Kawanda Chirinyabigo, nenge wa Kawanda Chirinyabigo je waguze, ye Kawanda Chirinyabigo Mubende, which is a place that people don't want. Which take right? So land can also depreciate. Which take and God rest the souls of people abali mu kitezi. Kati mumuloze takali mu kitezi ligenda kulinya value bali genda kuwa. Kitezi yena kati agudde value simply because of that pit slide. Kitezi agudde value yena. All the places that are nearing that place kati wonna wagudde. Wetlands, if someone bought land in wetland, whichever wetland it is right now, nabali ba considering ogula tebakyagulayo kati naye wagudde value. Okitegeera. And of recent I've been advising the people I know, toddamu gula ttaka lya ndagaano, takagula lya kyapa. Omuntu alina ekyapa abaako n'owalwanira naye ettaka ery'endagaano, yes nalyo CB, but ettaka ery'endagaano oba tolina bwogerero, tolina bwannannyini, so you cannot speak. Okitegeera. Kasooke mbabuuzeeko ndyoke neeyongere. Ben Kako, J Sekaja, Antonio Random Things VIP, Mugalasi Joshua Mix Farm Travel Live Vlog, Edwin Mugerwa, Asimwe Elon, Edwin Mugerwa Twa Hawalakira, Charles Sebaduka, Amos Yo UG, Bukenya Abby Jones, Info to see me Eddie Council Patrick Asiku. After you decide better to look for good environment than being in slum area like Chitezi. Hey, then want a million, the Sijaga want to populated do what you got. Musema Saddam, land appreciates whereas vehicles depreciate. Nowadays, banks prefer land to cars. After both can appreciate and depreciate depending on the speed you're selling. Aha, thank you, Saddam. Net takale nyini botundango papa. Bigwe Bay. After in today's world, a car is a necessity, especially if one has a job and a family. Thank you very much. After I strongly believe the plot you bought in Kasanga, if sold today, would fetch some significant money. Yes, Council Patrick, even the time that I sold it, it had appreciated a lot. But that was like after how many years? After 6 years. Edwin agamba, then I'm going to buy a beach nja kunabira ku beach. Actually, a car, if well utilized, it can be able to help you crack deals that can buy you many pieces of land as you want. Exactly. Pade, good evening. Oza Mosantu, chikumi namwe, kukumi na chaitayo. Andi mukulambuza mwe, kate mumanyiyo. Nicholas Sebulime, Sereko Starch. But land appreciates, yes, with automobile. Don't really appreciate that much. But it depends on how one differentiates value. King Daniels, I think the concept of economical doesn't really apply in a comparison between land and car. It all depends on one objective, needs, wants, ambitions, among other factors. Yes, Bititega Safari, thank you for being part of the VIP. Banang, I have confirmed Maram roads take a toll on steering rack of small cars like Vitz. Yeah, but also depends. Somebody may depends on how you drive your car. It depends. Vitz is there for steering. When you talk about business operation, guys, yes, land appreciates in value, but at what rate does land appreciate in value? At what rate? If you bought a plot of land at 4 million today, yeah, in 6 years, it would be worth about 10. If you bought a plot of land at 4 million today, in 6 years, it would be worth about 10. Okay? In 6 years. And it's possible that in 6 years it's not even worth 10. It's possible that in 6 years it's worth only 6. It's possible that in 6 years it's worth only 4. It's possible that it's worth only 5. Yeah? But I'm saying, see that, since I could mugula takaliri muchiko in a valley, Kasozi, pure wetland, lava. Pure wetland. Me, I decided I'm always going to buy land on hills. Sidamuchi. So anyway, guys, land and car. Now, I'm not saying that in your perspective, a car is much more valuable than land. I'm saying that if land is appreciating at a rate of, let's say, at a rate of 20% per year, okay? So it means if you invest 1 million in a piece of land, every year is going to be appreciating by 200,000, which means every year it's this year it's 1.2, the next year it will be around 1.5, and like that and like that and like that. However, if you use the same 1 million shillings, yeah, in a car that is empowering your business, it's possible that you can make more than 20% out of that car. So business-wise, the car will definitely make more sense for you. But also that depends on what car you buy. Togenda genda ogule Subaru, nemuli kuba wedi smooth lino. Togenda genda ogule a motoka Subaru Forester, Subaru Forester nga. However, a car can help you execute business that judge you based on what car you use and all that. So if you bought a car right now at 30 million or at 40 million and you were driving to business deals, people would respect you more than if you didn't have a car. People like engineers, architects, accountants, people like doctors, yeah, people like senior academicians, like you want to get a job, a head teacher of a big school, and you go on a border, you want the interviewing team to think what that one ogendo gaga ina buchimogenda chifunira wano, yeah, mulaba fielder old model omwana anachata koze bumper ne moroka yona yetaga golola, moroka yona yetaga golola bakati munde efana ne etya kati olaba bano bonna bali mu kisenyi kati ze protocols kyo sikyazigula ezaawo kati awo nettaka erigumbuka abantu bonna njagala kasozi waggulu sikyayagala bino. But also the incident of Chitezi I think it's the rubbish. It has nothing to do with people being muchikwa and all. I think the rubbish got heaped up a lot. Kasasira abadde mungi nnyo, and then enkuba nemugonza. I personally know someone that died today in that thing. When I listen over to UMI, they have an administrator, a lady that has died in that thing. And then I saw a clip of a lady crying. Yeah, I saw a video of a lady crying. Now, the other thing that a car gives you that land will never give you, a car will give you access to better job opportunities, definitely. Promotions and all. The reason why certain job workplaces like TVs, kasaba kuwa bati omulimu, bwe kuwa bati omulimu kyebasooka okukola kuyamba kufuna looni ya mmotoka. Oleme kuswaza mulimu. Okay, bw'osonga ku mmotoka gy'oyagala ne bagisasula ne bakusalanga ku musaala, so that you look the part. Okitegeera muganda wange. So a car can definitely empower you to get better job opportunities, which will enable you to get better money, which will enable you to buy all the plots of land that you want. However, a plot of land has never enabled someone. Okay? Batono. For you to be able to afford land that will enable you to afford cars, olina okubanga ettaka wagula ddene, ebiseera ebisinga ekyetaagisa capital mungimu. Kachitegeeza oba toyina capital. I think JK Share bought a piece of land in Chira, was it? In 2012. It has appreciated like tenfold. JK wagamba bakuwa million 3 n'ozigaana. Okitegeera. But you need to have a stable source of income that will enable you to give your people quality life, yet also holding on to your piece of land. Now, majority of people don't actually have that luxury of holding on to the piece of land. Now, the other thing that a car gives you that land might not give you, that I've realized being I live in a remote area, as you guys have seen, nze jembeera wala namwe mukiraba nkyavuga buvuzi sinatuuka kukutama wali kirole ekya green ekisalamu. Now, a car will give you accessibility. Omuntu atalina mmoloka essaawa eno alina ebintu byatasobola kutuukako, alina ebifo byatasobola kugendamu right now because talina mmotoka. So a car will give you accessibility, and with accessibility come a lot of opportunities. Of course, then in remote areas like where I live, and then a car will give you flexibility. You become flexible, and your lifestyle can become a little bit better simply because you have a car. Have you guys seen someone ngatanafuna moroka ngatalabika na bulungi bwafune moroka n'okunyira n'anyirira? Okitegeera? That's because their life became a little bit easier. A car will make your life easier. Land doesn't necessarily make your life easier. As a matter of fact, I realize that when people buy land, their life becomes much more difficult because now they either have to hold on to the land or they have to find ways of utilizing the land to make them money. And normally, those ways are very stressful. So land might actually make you stress your life more instead of making your life easier, especially if you don't have the capital to utilize the land. When you think about it psychologically, when you contemplate about should I own land, there are so many reasons for you to not own land, yet there is only one reason for you to own land: value. The only reason for someone to own land is value. But the only way you can get value out of land is if you have more money. Okitegeera nti omwavu tasobola kufuna value mu ttaka. Okitegeera. Now, the other advantage that probably a car will give business people especially is the fact that with a car comes some expenses that you can write off, especially as a business, by the way. With a car, with land, sinalabayo expense gy'osobola kuraitinga off olw'okuba oyina ettaka. Abaana ba Wish bavuga bubi omulaba ku line eyo yonna yonna yo wa Wish alaba bano bonna bagwagwa ye yayinamu amagezi. Era wa Wish wuyo mulala yajja. Nze wembaga nti abasajja abavuga Wish ezo old model when they want to clearly bateekawo humps gabakirabe the solid line in the middle doesn't stop people from overtaking. Mulimu abaland cruiser tebali mu overtakinga, mulimu abazi kruga tebe overtaking emoroka ezebbeeyi, but the people that are driving Wish are overtaking. So guys, but you see, my argument of a car being more valuable than land doesn't really apply to so many people. Sorry, network. Two, with no family, no job, no capital. Yeah. Now, if that person tells me they own a piece of land that is worth, let's say 10 to 20 million shillings, and they are still grassing with nothing to eat, dressing very poorly, begging other people for money, oyo omuntu abatakozeza bulungi birabo Katonda byamuwa. In such a situation, what you would do would be to actually sell that land and get capital. I've seen so many people nga bakondeminga abaana batunda ettaka mu kyalo ne bajja bavuge boda kubanga abeera mu kyalo nga talina kiddako, ng'ettaka alina naye nga talina kikola ki, nga talina kiddako, because not everyone is actually going to be a farmer, not everyone is going to be a real estate Mongol. You get now. I see so many people saying real estate is the real deal. Real estate, people should be doing real estate, and it totally makes sense. But I can tell you for a fact that even in the US, where real estate is praised, not everyone that has made a lot of money has made a lot of money from real estate. Some people have made money by having vending machines. Some people have made money from car washes. Some people have made money by owning trucks. Some people have owned money by owning Uber vehicles and taxis. Some people have made money through forex trading. Some people have made money by offering services, and they are still okay. Edi Aniku Osamo Santu kuiseko wate. After it depends. In 2022, I bought that small land for $4 million I told you about in Kalaji. I managed to rescue it, but now it has appreciated to 10 million, at least 8 million. You see a profit. That's very good appreciation. Appreciation of 6 million. Because of the hams kakute pake eri waggulu. And even to be respected having a car. Mr. Arthur, as a person, I have 2 plots of land. One in Katos, 250 by 100 chapa. I bought 15 in 2021 December COVID. Then the balance I had about 5 million. I bought a second one, Karaji, 4 million. The first plot appreciated. Now if you don't have 35 million, I don't sell it. And the second one, if you don't have 15 million, I don't sell it. Atenga situunda. Antika akati. Nsereko stache chintu echiri kutaka chiri wechi. Oba totunda when you have the ability to not sell. Chenkugambi, if you have money, you can actually hold on to your land and not sell it. Majority of people don't have that luxury. That's why you find that for them to be able to hold on to their land, some families have to eat once. Some families have to avoid taking their kids to good schools so that they hold on to their land. Is that the kind of life that you want, Starch? Game Park or Jirabi Antonio? Arthur, we need to understand that we are going for business opportunities. We use vehicles, but no one can know that I own a piece of land saying Tinda. Arthur, you are taking us to debating. No, it's not even debating. Some people should definitely be owning land, especially if you have a lot of money that is lying there. But Council Patrick, I can tell you that in the film industry, I've invested money, lost money, but I've also made money. It's very hard for you to tell me that there is a piece of land that appreciates more than the skill I get with Wednesday Yokusoma. Almost Wednesday Yokusoma, I think I spend around 3 million shillings. But majority of the time, by the time I'm done with that course centers and normally my courses take 3 to 4 months. That's why I keep going back to school. Every time you sell land, or your mwana sagala mbere maso talaka kumanya na moroka alaika banavuka batata bawe bakakuvuga moroka twala mama wo munimiro oyo kambere maso. For a family man, owning land is a sense of security, especially before your wife. Yes, but let me give you a scenario. It's very easy for people, for example, with our transfer. It's very easy for you to get a piece of land. Bomalo kufuna piece of land. Nofuna transfer. Oguze take wachiso. Nebakuwa transfer. Egenda ebusia. Ngediko sente nyingi. Nenga bakuwa de transfer. Okay? Ngoredo mazoko okuzimbe nyumba elimu milioni zonga 2.5. Okay? Obo mazoko gule takalyo. And in today's Uganda, by the way, guys, in today's Uganda, I don't know how you people are handling the phobia that I have of me buying land and having it taken by someone that doesn't actually own it. But I have a lot of that phobia. That you can buy your land right now in Wachiso. Tomorrow someone else comes and says, that's my land. That's something that I know nobody wants to ever experience and no one should wish it. So I shared a story some time ago of someone. We are in a group called Young Trips. Young business owners and entrepreneurs. And this young man shared his experience of how he bought land in Narumunye. He bought his piece of land 15. He sold his car, topped up money, bought that land. Immediately after buying the land, then a neighbor, who is a big army person, came and said, remember, the person that sold you the land now doesn't, you don't owe them anything, they don't owe you anything. So now it ended with this young man being arrested for a full week. He gave up. He gave up the piece of land. If he had kept his car, and by the way, this young man is in photography and videography. Border. He risks equipment being stolen from him. He risks getting border accident. He risks he can go wherever he wants, whenever he wants. Idi Aniku is saying, I believe anything that doesn't bring in money is liability. Be it a car, land, property, like rentals, etc. If all these don't bring money, it's not useful. Thank you. Thank you. If something actually helps you make money, it's more valuable than something that doesn't help you get money. Like if a car helps you get money, it's much more valuable than land that is not helping you get money. And most people that own land actually have no idea. And Kambawe situation, the situation of some people that own land, the situations they go through. Muna bumana wati se drone. Iliko ne mitoja taxi jijo. Ne mwenzenze kata cha papa. Sidanze chi papa nze mvuga minembe jange. Wayo no musajja walani cruiser ndiye mabego wa V8. Na inaenda batapapa. I think na aize de son zimbulamu. Ate one thing I've realized abantu abemoroka ezala ise basinga okuba ne wasi waso balwachi. Kati balabe batuse eri wavayo trailer bonna balwana okuyingira amafuta balabe. Ate by the way, I think police yayituyambyeko abantu abavuga emoroka eziriko SSD number plates government yali badde batuyambako bavuga bubi nnyo oba because emoroka babigula na East South Sudan babireeta wano ne bwakirekayo abatafiirwa. Arthur, vehicles lose value every day while land appreciates, though vehicles are good for status, gaining the trust of some clients. News. I would tell you that vehicles don't actually lose value every day like you say. Bamutomedde. Batomedde wanu. Batomedde wanu agenda no kwagala okuvaamu nga atobedde avuga ebyekigwagwa. Mulabe watunula. Obedde avuga ebyekigwagwa ebyo ebingana nzo okuvuga ebyekigwagwa. Owatakisa abadde amulinza anyege. Abadde amulinze beetwale awo njagala abatakisa awo they are no nonsense. So anything that anything can lose value. Anything mumanyi how valuable land in Chitezi was yesterday. Gegera bikatundu tesibe yo drone tesiba bulungi. Munda batandise no kuuma distance. Era bikatesiba bulungi. Pada agamba, Arthur, what if you buy land to keep your money there, you forget it? In Uganda today, guys, the way how land is being handled, for me to keep my money in land, I would rather buy government bonds in Zenga. Arthur, what's the right? Mzenga Arthur. Why? I've seen atena dalango limuvubuka mutoto ina connections obato ina sente zigenda kulwana mu court. I have come across so many stories of young men investing money in land and losing all the money. You get okuja konge ettaka lyo investing muri lyawo kumpi naawe. You can go and see it. You monitor it. But these things of buying land no ligule wachiso yo mchale yo no lireke no gambe ettaka lyange JDD. Byakoma lulinga Ugandans, and Ugandans in power still have some shame. Right now as we speak, most Ugandans in power don't have shame. Onoba mudde maso batantome kimoroka kite kisiba yensonga lwacha akipize distance. Kimoroka kite kisiba. So guys, when we talk about it's a very good thing to buy your land and keep your money there and also it's one or two things by now either bade bamereye obetaka bade balirambula na oteka mwaka pande ababadde balambula bakendera bagamba takalino tunonye ngulu batandika okwebuza kuba neighbor naye bwe libeerawo nga just liryawo okitegeera bwe libeerawo bubezi abantu basobola okujja ne balitwala. And remember now there is even a law that if someone lives on your land for a certain period of time bajja kubuuza wali wanga kwali. Someone can come plant crops on your land, yeah, and for you to get them off your land that you did not give them access to, and for you to tell them get off my land, you have to actually pay them. Ashraf agambye nagula ettaka but I used to sleep hungry. Exactly. Nze ne moroka yange no sobola sura njala. Tekisoboka. I bought land in Mukono, but neighbor had money to construct before me. I came back when half of his toilet was at my side. Kati wulida. Kati tata umba mgenda kutandika kulwana. Neighbor baba wa mutima mubi olumwa agale no kutemera kutaka eridio. Momo VIP, what's up? Pade abasaya tax matika bwe bati. Gwe buli abakireke ngeko erikaka dana gwe manya is has the potential of putting that much load. Kati mu family meeting while I was in S4 S3, I had my singer telling my dad nti abaana boolina abalenzi tebageza ne batunda ettaka ly'ekika. It's worth 4 square mile land. Naye kuliko miti mpozi n'abasenze. Ate abasenze mubafunamu okitegeera. There are people that are poor nenga bavulwa holding on to land. Osegera, me, I actually find that instead of holding land, claiming that instead of holding land, claiming that it's going to appreciate in value, everybody actually has something where they are a pro. So if you have a skill like that you're good at, I would actually advise that you invest your money in a skill like that other than you buying land. SSD plates say will drive at the way in there. That way in their country. No traffic lights, no road sign was there for the last 6 months. Blame them. I'm not convinced as why Chigege importation was phased out, because it was a good van. It was phased out to mostly for the environment. Like literally every organization, let it be private or government, is trying to work with sustainability. We have to sustain our environment as long as we can. Okay? The older vehicles are not friendly for the environment. They let off so many fumes. So that's why they are trying to limit. Because those lorries are still coming. Lorries are limiting because they're so people are starting to buy zero mileage lorries. Chovola banti whole Sino trucks are taking over. Edda bagulanga zi Mercedes Benz ezo bichi forward nekati empia starting zo taking over because they are making them accessible to us. Bantu abavuga imoroke nkadenze mbege endereza kato yavuga karawo modi modu abadanto bedde choka yingira buyigizi ku nze mbavira manye naku yange eyo murawo modi modo je nava sagala kuddayo. So anyway guys, land or car ekiri valuable gwa kisalawo depending on where you stand, but I can tell you that a car is much more valuable to someone that has no money. Omuntu ng'okyetetenkanya, a car might actually prove to be more valuable to you than land. Okitegeera katika mbawe example right now nze nyina permit erimudi evuga Kigege. Sengamba dene milioni nga 3 nga sina kyenzi zaako, it would be a much better deal for me to buy a Kigege nembyanza ku kkubo than buying land and another car. Okitegeera, it would actually, because uba sikikiririza munze nga Arthur, so it would be much better nenkwate milioni nga 25 ekirungi zimba njevugira nengula Kigege yange nga kadde. Okitegeera, nemanya nti nayikolako byenyino gikolako nga mwenvuga. It's a much better deal than you actually buying land. I know people that have plots of land nainga emirembe gibaweddeko because loan zibatwala, and there are people that have had their land taken by banks. Kati ne webuuza lwaki ettaka eryo teyatunda tunde okusinga okulyewolerako. And the same thing that I tell people, emmotoka togitwala wa manerenda, gitunde. Don't take your car to a money lender. Sell it, solve your problems. Okitegeera. Actually, Mr. Athans sigenda kuzimba kati cause my land is a money magnet. Toina kati starch gwa taina na baana. Chechi kupapyo kuzimba. Toina na kijira. Kati gwa huyo mwina ne square mile nyeza family land. Nze nabagamba one of the reasons why I built was because I needed a place for my kids to call home. Which they get. I don't have a place where I can start here. Sina wenyinza kusonga nze. All the land that my father supposedly left was sold. Which take it, as a matter of fact, the last conversation I had with one of my stepbrothers was intended to sell another piece of land that was for both, I think for like a collection of us, me and my stepbrothers and stepsisters. And they were calling me asking, Arthur, etaka lino tuliteke manyagom, anyagoma. Nembagamba ali take manyagom. Because me, I don't want to have fights of land. So I can tell you that my father left a lot of land, but my stepbrothers and stepsisters never went to school. Why? Because land wasn't valuable. A valuable thing will give you means to live a good life, means to take care of your needs, and land did not take care of that. But why environmental protection government is giving out land to investors and wetlands? But wetlands, Council Patrick, I find that wetlands are not actually an issue. If you're going to be constructing a house or building a certain business in a wetland, there are guidelines. Anyone can even build a home in a wetland, provided you went to NEMA and kind of full whatever terms and conditions they tell you to. You can also construct in a wetland, right? So the wetland is actually not really the issue. The issue is, do you have the needed permit for you to construct in a wetland? And of course, Council Patrick, now NEMA is taking care of the wetlands. Wetland. So I find that the government is trying. Well, I find that now that I think the government is hiring a little young people. Ministries. I think they're the ones that are trying to make the changes. And I think that's why we need more young people to get into those ministries, so that, like right now, this place, wano ku main road, bali tebacha approving out plan yako kazimbe. Okadaba kibali mukuzimba. Awali tebacha approving out kazimba ako. Bali plan yao ba approving out stories nganya. 4-story buildings only. Ochitegera. Ashraf wano matuga. This is all matuga. Kano mvuze okujja eno nyina byenjagala okufuna eno naye kasana mwe mulambude ngenda bazaayo sijaba nerabide wifi mu nyumba. I was supposed to use Wi-Fi because I have, I think, about 2 GB on this phone. I've been using Wi-Fi. Sita wenchamira. We rule the world. We're gonna make them jump. We're gonna make them dance. So, Mitiana Road tatuka. Mitiana Road is developed, by the way. I've been to Mitiana Road and it looks like it's much more developed than now. So anyway, guys, land being much more valuable than or a car being more valuable than land will depend on where you're standing or sitting as an individual. Nzenga Arthur, right now, for a person that is grounded in your country and you're a man and you're going to raise a family, land is actually valuable to you. It's really valuable to you. You need to have a home where your kids can actually go back to. And nina clip jenda biengo mvubuka, it's from a movie. Ngomvubuka abuza chitawe, why did you keep this huge piece of land? Nga they have a sibling of theirs, yali maje, so he has PTSD, and the dad was saying, this piece of land gives your brother a place to come back to whenever he's struggling, so I cannot just let it go. So for a man that has a family that you're raising and you don't expect to get out of this country anytime soon, land and a home are too valuable to you. They are actually worth more than money. For some people, that will be worth more than money. But for some people, nga kuleva woli, you're still calculating money. nga ku level wall money is literally the only important thing. Kuba kati naffe ate abafuna land tulina we tutuuka nga it's important for you to calculate nomanya nti kakati land is valuable, but maybe it's not as valuable as I used to think. Okitegeera, maybe it's not as valuable as I used to think. So yes, land is worth more than money if you have the money. Bw'oba tolina ssente ettaka sooka olireke, ate bwe tolina ssente nga ne capital tolina, ettaka tosooka ddirowoolezaako ddala. And then someone was asking me, because before I decided to do this broadcast, I was talking to someone still nga twogera ku the value of land and cars. And then someone was asking me, Arthur, then why do kids of rich people get more rich? And then they justify their question by saying it's because their fathers and mothers bought them land a long time ago, so they have a lot of real estate. That's why they keep getting rich. Personally, I don't think they keep getting rich because they have a lot of land. They keep getting rich because they have an unlimited source of capital. Bwakola chine chigana nga asaba capital mulala nga akola ekirala. Okitegeera. So they actually have real estate as something that is helping them make money from money that they don't need right now. Never body in situation nga sente ozeetaaga nnyo right now as in form of capital. It would be because the basic need is not land, the basic need is not a permanent house, the basic need is a home. A home can be rented, not so? Let's say I bought land when I was young, 25 to 26 combined, Irakali, naite wali Uganda. You are looking for a place to put your money zote taga. Start chotakera point yange. Point yange erinti. Boba oina sente zote taga ziteke yo mutaka. Because it's obvious that nebo zinafiira yo yinzo obutafaayo nnyo. Otegera kati oli omuvubuka gwe mbanyumirize yava kutaka nga bamaze okumusaako mu komera. It's because yateekayo sente n'azeerabira. But still it hurt him because it was his money. Yatunda motoka ye. Okitegeera, yatunda motoka ye okugula ettaka eryo. Kati n'agamba singa nasigaze emmotoka yange. Probably bakamubako essimu nga 3 okuva bwe yatunda emmotoka eyo. Essimu nga buli simu yakamu kitundu ezimiliyoni 4.5 zigenze n'ezettaka ne zigenda. Okitegeera n'eziyagezaako okulwanisa nalyo mu kooti. I don't know if I make sense, guys. It doesn't mean that people should not be buying land. Everybody should buy land if they can afford. They have money that is there. Go ahead and buy land. But I find that if you're the kind of person that is still struggling with capital, with food, I saw someone saying, because rent is a basic need. You know, you can actually afford your rent properly. Okusobola okuzimba, because jukira bwe nalimba gamba math nze bwe mukola wenyumba ntuula wansi nembala nti mbadde mpangisa emitwalo 2 enyumba gye ngenda okuzimba ngenda gibeeramu emyaka emeka mbere nga nzijeyo sente zange. Bwe nabala ekasanga ti nembala nti myaka nimbaze mu myaka 6 nja kuba sente zange zentadde wano zivuddeyo. Okitegeera kati bwotyo bwokibala. Kati if you cannot afford your rent, what are you calculating based on? And of course now these are conversations that are partly uncomfortable for most people. Partly uncomfortable, but also they're actually some in some circles bakubola n'okubula ogamba otya nti ettaka teriri valuable, emmoroka eri valuable. Emmoroka kati omuntu bwagula drone